Man, I remember like 8 years old, like me and my friends on my block where I lived in Irvington, New Jersey, and we heard of this record. We was like, yo, what's this record called The Breaks? I don't know, like, we just knew it was an older dude on the song and rapping. So we had heard that, and then I heard Super Rhymes after that. Of course, you know, Sugar Hill Gang, that was pretty much what made us practice the songs. Like, we just heard the songs. You know, we wasn't really, and you young, you wasn't thinking about it being this big thing. You just like, this dude got a record out called The Breaks. And then it was just a lot of call and response, and it was fun. And then I think as I got a little older, I won't say I gravitated toward the rhyming part till later, because you know, being 8, 9 years old, getting into 10, 11, we was doing a lot of B-boy shit. You know, I lived in a neighborhood where it was predominantly Spanish. But when you go up the hill to the projects, it was more black. So we had a mixture in our school, you know, where it was like a lot of the B-boys were Spanish, and a lot of the dudes that was popping and locking and was black. And we mixed that together, where I was more or less, I tried to do everything, but I was because a gymnast, I don't know. I was on the floor a lot, so I'm on the floor, the only black dude on the floor with all the Spanish dudes. So, you know, then got into graffiti kind of at the same time doing B-boy work. And, you know, the first things I remember, like, where I said I wanted to do it was when I was like 11, 12 years old. You start to see it more. We going to the movies to see Wild Style and being in the line, and you seeing everybody from school, and everybody got their windbreakers on, everybody got their Pumas on, they shoelaces the same color as their windbreaker, and you see dudes you battled last week, and you know, but these are the memories I have and I cherish, because it's not like that today, and because we was there from the beginning, and to see it the way it is now, I didn't think that, you know, growing up hearing these songs, you see girls practicing in school where they finish their work and they writing their favorite song. I don't care if it was Roxanne Shante. They writing the words down just so they can learn it, because they want to know what they saying. So, you know, my history is pretty much all of that. And as you go on in life, you pick up everything as far as whether it be doing graffiti, being a B-boy, being an MC, a producer. So, you know, my early memories are always vivid because, you know, we was involved. Going to New York with my parents, going to Washington Square Park and seeing these dudes breaking, going to the Bronx Zoo, hearing about graffiti, but getting off the train and my family walking, I'm standing there on the platform just, oh my God. You see the train going, autograph on the train. I'm like, what? I want to do that. My father looking at me like, we get out the train, we go to the zoo. I'm just taking everything in. I said, all right, I want to be a part of this. I want to do graffiti. But then the same day we go home, Star Wars came on, and that was a wrap. I was like, oh man, I really just want to be in this. And it was the thing to do. So I would think like stuff like that pretty much like brought me into it. And, you know, as you grow up, you want to be in it more. So I would say, like, you know, those moments for me were what made me want to do it. Rakim, I mean, hearing these different voices, you kind of like, and I don't care what, every MC should tell you this, the people you listen to is who you wound up sounding like when you grew up, until you found your own style. So I grew up sounding like, not say Rakim, but like, I had Rakim in my blood, Kane in my blood, KRS in my blood, Chuck D. I had a little bit of everything. So I was, you know, not just, you know, Run DMC. I was into a lot of like independent, like Sir Ibu. When I first heard Holy War, I was like, damn, I want to have a record that sound like that. You know, Jungle Brothers, all these people, Special Ed, Chubb Rock. These are people that made me want to be an MC, whether it was happening then or it took me and Tame to come out in '94. It's like the whole movement pretty much, like just, that's why you got into wanting to be on the label, because you want to make a difference and people influence you. I was a junior in high school and Naughty was in school. They was like pretty much the only rappers in the school. Here I come, junior class talent show, And I'm like, okay, this is the day I come out there. I got my flat top. I got my red silk shirt on, black pants. I got my ballies on. Everybody like, yo, what is this? Like, all my friends, all my drug dealer friends, they see me going down the aisle like, yo, here. They taking off their chains and giving it to me. So I get on stage, all my boys coming down the aisle with me. Like, I got like 20 dancers coming behind me. The next day in school, everybody's like, yo, I did not know you rap. Like, I'm like, yeah, just, and then from there, I was doing talent shows. We had, not too far from here, actually down the street from the post office where we was at, it was that abandoned club. It used to be called Club 88. And we used to have talent shows there. They was called Tough Teen Talent Night. And Naughty, Redman, Lords of the Underground, everybody performed there. You name it, we was there. Those things started happening. And before I even met Tame, I was not say so much in the studio, but I was preparing myself to do that. And then that's when I met Rhino. Jay Byrne me and Tame had, like I said, we had mutual friends. So whether if it was Byrne, Ice, they was like, yo, you need to come to the studio where we will record at. So Rhino, I get over his crib. That's when they had the Boss Mob. And I started making demos with him. Every time I would come, I would be just missing Tame or he would be just missing me. And till the day we did meet up, but we was both doing the same thing. He was doing graph, I was working at a job, but we was doing what we was supposed to be doing until we met up. At the age we were at, you had to pay for a studio or know somebody that had equipment. So my first recordings was with my man Jay Byrne up at Livingston Mall, where they had the booth in there. You go in there, bring your tape, and it had the instrumental on there, and we recorded the song right in the mall. And that was funny because people was watching us in the window and seeing us do it because they film you too, so they give you a little tape after that. So those were my first, and then not just that, like with my man Rhino, and then once I started understanding everything, I started spending my own money going to the studio. So we knew I wanted to have songs that sounded professional, but then once I got with Tame, I was like, all right, we making real songs. So we started going off on our own, not say going to Rhino crib, but we would go to DML studio. I go to my man Art crib, my man Pig, we go over there, and I started doing demos with him, where we were doing demos on a I don't know if people know what this is, a 7.6 Digitech sampling machine. You get like 4-5 seconds of sample time, and we had that hooked up with the turntables and everything. We would straight up record certain sounds, and we had a box of cassettes. And we would take the cassettes and dub every sound on every tape. So by the end of we got maybe 3 tapes left. All the tracks are on the one tape with all of the sounds for the track. And we rhyme on the last 2 tapes, and we put the vocals on that. So imagine that shit back then. Incredible. Like I said, because we had mutual friends, like he knew close friends of mine. So I'm just like, why do I know y'all and don't know him? So they're like, I see his name everywhere. I'm like, but I don't even know what he looked like. So they was like, damn, you never even seen him in person? I was like, nah. So he's like, trust me, you're gonna probably run into him when you go to Rhino's crib. So every time I'm there, I'm just hoping one of them, all right, he gonna show up. So he never showed up. So it was like a mysterious thing. So one day he was there and I came there, and then we got to talking, and I was like, all right, cool. Like, all right, then one thing led to another. We just didn't really talk about it. We just like, all right, Rhino started making beats, and he made one beat and had this James Brown sample in it, and we did the song. Actually, the name of the song is called Break It Down, and that was why we used the title for the song on the That's Them album, Break It Down. That was like to commemorate what we was doing back then. So, it wasn't no thing where our friends was like, yo, y'all need to get together. It was just that one song pretty much, we was like, damn, okay, so let's do another one. Then we did another one. Then this, organically, it just started happening, and then we decided, like, all right, let's, because he lived in Newark, I lived in East Orange, but then he was living in East Orange, and I didn't know. So once I found out, now all my friends is like, so they see me with him, like, who's that? I was like, my new partner. Like, partner? He was always by himself. I was like, yeah, he was always by himself too. So once we got together, that's when everything started happening out here. Red comes out, Naughty come out, Loads of Underground come out. Everybody's coming out, and we sitting there like, what y'all doing? Like, yeah, we trying. And then we get to go up to Stretch and Bobbito, and then our stories happen. That was how we pretty much got the deal. Like, the label didn't even want to hear the demo. Tame had called up to Stretch and them show when they had the freestyle sessions or whatever. So he called up one week. I heard him. I said, oh, you got through. So the next week, maybe 2 weeks later, I called up. But it was funny because Bob answered the phone and he asked my name before I got on the rhyme. And I told him Elvis Sensei. He said, Elvis? Elvis Sensei? What? I was like, oh my God, no. So to this day, Bobby still called me Elvis Sensei from that call. But to go up to the station, after we called, because listening to the show, he always talking about he worked at Def Jam. So I'm like, I called Def Jam one day. I was like, yeah, I got to speak to Bobby Garcia. He's like, all right, no problem. He answered the phone like, yo, I'm like, yeah, I called up last week on the radio. He's like, who's this? I told him where I was, and I told him my partner Tame, da-da-da-da. So he's like, so how you get this number? I said, you say every week that you at work. So he's like, so you just went on your own? I said, yeah, and I called them, and they gave me to you. So what you need? I said, we trying to get an invitation to come up there. He said, all right, if you told us today, we ain't had no ride that night. When he was like, yeah, be up there like 1 in the morning. So damn, I got my man to drive. So we drove up there and went up there, rocked off that Zulu war chant, and it was a wrap after that. Stretch, even though he was a DJ at the school, as far as the station, he worked at Atlantic, at Big Beat. And just so happened, Bobby worked at Def Jam, and my man Reef, Rob Tulo, he worked at Big B too. And him and Stretch was friends. It was like, once we got to chill with them, we thought, this is just one big ass damn circle. So I don't care if it was John Schechter, Scott Free, all these dudes was together and all worked at different labels. So once they saw what was in me and Tame, they was like, okay, we can't let them go. And y'all from Jersey too? Like, yeah. So it all kind of worked out. We used to go to New York just when Bob and Stretch lived together. We used to go on 2nd Avenue, just go up to their crib, just any day we wanted to, chill with them, and we saw what was going on with business part far as with them. And it was, all right, well, shit, it makes sense now. And we fell right into Atlantic's lap. Well, I always had a job, so it was never really that part of the, abandoning anything. But I think once they saw how much I was doing it as a kid, I mean, it was no saying no. It was no, like, you can't do that in school, because I didn't go to college. I could have, but I stayed and I went to work. So I've been working a job, whether if I was when I left school, I worked at St. Michael's Hospital for maybe 6 years. So I worked in nuclear medicine, and I was an x-ray file clerk. And the funny part was my job. Like, once they found out, because once, my mother was like, yo, you're going to do what you're going to do. But when I told her it was real, and it was like a label real, and the contract real, and advance money real, so she's like, yo, okay. I mean, the funniest part was working at the hospital, and I stayed there as long as I could. So just imagine every day this video is on. Every day I'm going to work. I'm on the bus in the morning, early, 7:30 in the morning, I'm on the bus. And after a while, people was like, yo, like, didn't I see you on TV? Or like, nah, you didn't see me on TV. You didn't see me. So, yo, I seen you on TV, man. You and the other. And this is people that lived on our strip where the bus go. So that to me was funny. And I guess people got to see that I wasn't like on some star shit or whatever, because I was still at the job and I didn't really think that I needed to leave. Only reason why I left, because they was like, look, you're going to be touring here and touring there. You can't keep taking vacation days. And I was like, all right. That's when rap became my full-fledged job, 1995. And I've been doing it ever since. It's one thing going on tour, but as, we understand things change. And with this industry, everybody can't afford, even promoters, to have dudes out for 2 weeks. And then also for me, with having kids, if they can't come with you, if you ain't got no star power like that, they can't fly them out there with you. So you are missing out as far as time-wise. And when you're not home, I'm here for birthdays and everything like that, but I miss them when I'm going just as much as they miss me when I'm going. So I would say if any sacrifice, that would still be the main one, because you still have to have somebody home helping you out, whether it be family, and that you also got to think about what everybody else have to sacrifice as well for me to even do what I'm doing. So I totally understand. Man, I love the work part of it. And I try to tell people it's like making movies, being a director. If you imagine George Lucas and Steven Spielberg, when they were making the movies that was hits for them, they had to have these secrets in their mind to say that they're going to believe in this story or these songs that we're making, to make people believe in these stories and songs enough that they're going to help you have a lifestyle, have a life, get paid to do it. So once the record came out, and I'm talking about me and Tame's first record, I was like, wow, like we really, really, really doing this. But I get a satisfaction knowing that what we're doing, people like what we're doing, and they will tell you if they don't. So up to this point, it's not been a lot of don't like it. So I'm grateful, because we both know there's a lot of cats from my era that don't work and can't get work. So I also have to take into consideration that comes with the skill part of it too, and being able to keep up with what everybody wants as far as the sound. So I just love the fact that we get to do these shows like we did at Hip Hop Camp. The hangar was totally empty when the artists got off before we came on. And when we walked out there, it was just a whole hangar full of Artifact fans. So after being in the game for 20 years, and to see that and knowing that all of those people in the hangar, we pretty much was older than all of them, unless they was a cameraman or some person that just wanted to be in there. It's like, I ain't seen them live before. So that is what keeps me going. And, I tell everybody when the emails stop, when the phone stop ringing, and I start seeing negative reviews and stuff like that, then I'll chill. I ain't gonna do it no more. The label didn't like the That's Them name. They liked everything about us except for the name. They're like, so what's the name of your group? That's Them. Like, no, that's not gonna work on a record cover and da-da-da-da. He's like, what? So we was going home defeated on the train, like, damn, how the hell are we gonna change our name for something that for years, we didn't call ourselves that. So we was on the PATH train, Tame sitting there, I'm sitting here, I'm just like, looking in the sky, looking at the damn shit going by, and I was like, Artifacts. He looked at me, he's like, I said, think about it. I still don't know how the damn thing came out my mouth. Yeah, we got home to his crib, we started looking at everything. We pulling encyclopedias out, anything that we can find meaning-wise. Let's really do research. So we looking at the meaning of the name. We already know what it means, but when you read it, though, it's like anything from ancient times built, put in modern times to study and find out what. We was like, oh shit. That's what we do with hip-hop, yo. We do graph, don't nobody do. And this is the time where we did Wrong Side. We did Wrong Side because we felt like nobody was speaking to our culture as far as like what we really, really do. Because I will say this, I don't know, I may be wrong, but I know for a fact, before we put that record out, nobody was talking about the 4 or 5 elements of hip hop is documented. So when we started doing that and just making light of, don't nobody talk about graph no more. Like, it's dead. Like, like, it was a time where it was, like, dying. So once we put that record out, it just brought light back to it. To this day, we got writers. I could go on Instagram right now and show you stuff where dudes are still playing that song while they bombing. I didn't never believe it until people come up to you and like, yo, we used to play and we used to go bomb it. I'm like, okay. But you see it. You see it still. These little dudes now, they skating to the song. They out there in the yards and they showing us like, look, it's real and we're playing the song. It's inspiration. So, if we didn't do those songs, man, and even that first album, we wouldn't be talking about none of this right now. 2008, me and Tame got kind of back together doing a Rocksteady concert, forcefully by everybody else, made us do it. But I would say maybe like 2 years later, when it was like kind of official, and I remember everybody, it was sunny outside. Everybody was in the park, and we standing on the side of the stage, and I see my mother, I see my aunt, my cousin, I see a whole bunch of people I know. I see Tame's mom, and I just see everybody smiling. And it's like, yo, thank you. Everybody was like, thank you, please. Like, y'all can't stay broken up. So getting on the stage that day made me, I almost got choked up a little bit too, because when we were standing there waiting to go on stage, I got people behind me like doing all the rubbing our shoulders, like we about to play football, banging. I'm looking around, I'm looking at him like, I feel like we Dwayne Wade and LeBron James right now. So we went out there and killed it, and I realized then that's all people want. Because all these people are me and Tame's friends, so they want to see this still go on and see what could happen if we was to go further on and make another album. Because now we at a point where we have everything that we need pretty much to do an Artifacts record and get the response that we probably should have got before. So I would say another, for me personally, we did a show in Norway called the Hits Awards. Me, Mike Zoot, and my man Matt Fingers went out there. And we did a show, and with Tommy T and his crew, these dudes, it's like 8,000 something people in this place. They coming down off the rafters and on zip lines and shit like that. We on stage. Me and Mike Zoo did the song, and we seeing the people on the teleprompter on the screen. They know the words. I'm like, what the fuck? Smoke coming off the stage. Coolio is in the crowd. He's so compelled. He jumped up on stage while we was rocking. We got B-boys up there, and 1.something million people watched it on TV. So that was like really big. And just past month for the group, I would say Hip Hop Camp, because we got to perform for the first time there, and it was like pretty much the breakup reunion show, because P. Rock CL Smooth was there, EPMD was there. You know, you look at these things like, oh, all of us was broken up at a time, and we are now here. So that was special. Travel. I've been to places I never would have thought that I would go to, and I only read about in books and history class and stuff like that. So I would say the biggest perk from doing this is meeting different cultures and eating different foods and bringing New Jersey out to the world, and people respecting what we do, being from, because everybody always make Jersey the butt of the joke for some reason. I'm very proud to be from New Jersey and doing, because there's a lot of New Jerseyans that is out in the world doing things y'all wouldn't even realize. Bruce Willis, what's up? Everybody, we got mad stars from Jersey. So, you know, I'm proud to be a New Jersey artist, because, you know, we all different. We're not the same. Everybody's got their own flow and style and voice, and that's the one thing I can say about New Jersey that stands out the most. We don't sound the same. That the Artifacts, Elder Sensei and Tame One meant business. They can never say we was a slouch on the mic. Musically, we had tunes that everybody could gravitate toward. I would want people to know that we was universal and we wasn't on no bullshit. And we have fans that relate to us in a way where I would hope that they know that we just regular dudes on the street that y'all know we just happen to rock. And we ain't no different than y'all. We just happen to be a little bit more skilled on the microphone. But it's not too much, man. It's, you know, it's one life we got. I'm grateful for being in it and doing, because who would have known, man? All these years, you know, people still want to hear me and Tame, you know, and anything that we doing. So I appreciate that, and I won't ever forget that.